Wish I could flip my camera. Pretty. Anyway, I want to talk about humans, more specifically men, and how they're driven by necessity or survival or any of those other synonyms you can come up with. Basically, how it's really difficult to self-motivate and keep pushing past your limits if you don't need to. So a lot of people, they want to do things, right? We'll use an example throughout this conversation. We'll use the military. You know, a lot of people might want to do some like cool badass shit or whatever, but once they get in that position, you know, you start to get in your head a little bit. You start to question if this is even what you want to do, or if this is, you know, because a lot of the time, you know, people have different paths or multiple paths they can take. You don't always have to become a Navy SEAL, become a Ranger, become a whatever. A lot of people want to do that. And a lot of those people that want to do those things don't succeed. Why? Like I said, they have options. They're able to do other things. That motivation, that inner drive isn't as strong as an individual who needs to do those things, who doesn't have any other options. Going back to the military example, two guys. One guy grew up rather secure family life, you know, always like had what they needed, just like an average life, you know. And then take somebody who hadn't had an average life, who, you know, suffered and struggled and to work really hard growing up. Didn't really have everything handed to them or whatever. Don't really have many options career-wise or whatever. Which person do you think is more likely to complete an extremely difficult task? I might pause this, but I might not, because I don't give a fuck. You hear the cars. In my opinion and in my experience, it's the guy who's had the shitty life, that doesn't have any other options, that needs for his plan to work out. Those are the guys that are more willing to stick with it. Not the guy who knows that he can ring the bell for Navy SEALs and just finish his time in the fleet or whatever, and then get out, live a normal life, get a good job and have a family or whatever it may entail. So one individual that has options and one individual that doesn't have options. It seems to be the individual that doesn't have any options, that they need to accomplish a goal, a task, a mission, whatever it may be. Those are the people, and that's the mindset that's most likely to succeed. Why? I don't know. Maybe it dives into our sort of evolutionary basic human instinct of survival, something along those lines. But today, especially in America, everybody pretty much, not everybody, the majority of people have their needs provided for rather comfortably. Unfortunately, comfort kills. Comfort kills that drive. Comfort makes you soft if unchecked. Obviously, you have to relax and enjoy life. But comfort cannot be your default setting. If comfort is your default setting, you will never accomplish anything you want to do. What you truly want to do. Deep down. You need to struggle, you need to suffer, you need to have that mindset that I need to do this or else. And I know that's can be a dangerous mindset to have, but if there's something you really want to accomplish, really want to accomplish no matter what, you need to have that mindset. You can't have it in the back of your head that there's another option for you. Because if there's another option for you and you're going through the shit, your mind will make that connection every single time. It'll creep up or it'll scream, it'll do whatever, that you don't have to do this, that there are other paths you can take. So it's up to you whether or not, or I guess how you respond to that voice of, yeah, you're right, I just want to do this. Like, I don't really even need to do it, or I don't even really want to do it, compared to this is plan A through Z and there's no other option. And a motherfucker would rather go down with the shit and surrender. Essentially, those are your two choices. Survive or die. It's sad to see, but I see a lot of people dying nowadays. They're alive, but they're dead. A lot of the reason, I would say, instant gratification. I'm sure they got dopamine sticks, TikTok, whatever, TV, any sort of entertainment you might want is at your fingertips at all times. So what do you do when all that dopamine hits? All the pleasure is easily at your fingertips. Well, a lot of people indulge. Porn, drugs, whatever. That's the easy way to not get what you want. It's one of the easiest ways. Is you just give in to your emotions, give in to your human cravings, give in to all those things. It's the easiest way for you to fall behind. Easiest way to not fall behind. Resist instant gratification, essentially at all costs. Obviously, you need to drink water when you're thirsty. Eat when you're hungry, within reason. But if you have that short-term mindset, that instant gratification mindset, it'll be harmful long-term. You're not thinking to when you're 80 or to when whatever. If you really want to grow, if you really want to do what you want to do, what you need to do, you have to have that growth mindset. You have to be able to avoid, that weekend of drinking every weekend. Because I think it's Gucci Mane who said this, but he's been an inspiration to me, obviously, but well, motherfuckers in the club getting drunk, throwing bands, having sex, doing whatever on the weekends. He's getting up early, he's going to bed early, he's doing the work. And those 2 days a week add up. Because you're talking days. Imagine how hours and minutes and seconds add up. Now 2 days, 52, whatever, 56, I forget, 52 weeks a year. It's just the little things. Avoiding and indulging in that can make like the world of a difference. To wrap it back up to humans, specifically men, needing that survival instinct in them. We don't have it right now. We're too comfortable, too lazy overall as a society, getting complacent, allowing others to shoulder the burden for us. That's fine if that's what you want, if you're okay with living that life. But if you have higher awareness or higher calling or whatever you want to say, that isn't the path you should follow. You have to follow a different path, and it's quite frankly the opposite of the path that the kind of, the world throws out there essentially for you. It's the hard path, it's not the easy path. And believe it or not, working at the same job, making decent money, whatever, with a company for 60 years, just clocking in and clocking out is the easy route. And you might say, no, it's not easy to do that day in and day out. Nothing's easy to do day in and day out. And obviously, for some people, a life like that is improvement in their current life. To the geese. I can't zoom in, it's kind of annoying. But, because I'm sure I'm going to post this, but if you're probably watching this, it's not necessarily a life that you want. Or it may not even be a conscious thought for you. It just might be one of those things where deep down you know, as a man, there's always more. And it's whether or not you want to kind of work for it. When I say more, I don't mean more money, more women, more whatever. I just mean abundance. Having an abundant life by your means. That's when we get into weird territory, though, because not everybody can have this type of life. The government knows this. And that's why they keep people down, essentially as slaves. But that'll be another conversation. I'm going to keep trying to do these every day because why not? It helps me think. Helps me relax too, I suppose. I'm sure if somebody watches this too, then I'm sure you'll get something out of it. Either positively or negatively. So yeah, to wrap it up, I guess, for the second time. You have to have that mindset. Well, let me rephrase this. If you really want to be highest potential, highest whatever, you have to sometimes dive into that survival instinct. Not always. But when you're doing your work, you're doing your shit, especially when you're young, dive into that survival instinct. Let that fuel you in your endeavors. Don't have the mindset that you can just I don't know. I was talking about this with somebody, how kids don't see the need to work for a boss, you know, or whatever, or not stay with the job, or do whatever, leave jobs frequently or whatever, because they know they don't need to stay with the job. And while that can be true, it's not always true. Yeah, if you're working at Amazon, sure, you don't need that job necessarily, but again, you don't need any job. But if you narrow down on something that you really, really, really want to do, and you're willing to do whatever for it, you have to recognize that you need to be in survival mode, because otherwise you might get run over just by life. The average person will probably get run over by life if they aren't willing to be in that mode. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm having a great day. Hope if you're watching this, you are too. Every day is a great day. To quote SpongeBob, it's the best day ever. Let's get it.